Tech.
And two of them are playing here tonight. Let's get into this.
Now, we're watching the perspective of Hood Rat. We're going to be kind of jumping around between both teams' perspective, whichever one's going to have generally the best view of the game.
And as you can see right here, Watto's going up trying to be the first man. That's pretty much just the first one to attack or try to set up his teammates. He had no boost, not able to get anything. Hood with it, or Kyle with a shot.
And like we talked about, Crazy Kyle moving quickly, setting things up right there. He was on the receiving end of a pass. Now, we're looking right here. You'll see the orange goal kind of there in the distance there, and the blue team's going for the orange goal. Orange team going for the blue goal. SAGU is in the blue tonight. Now, Crazy Kyle, you'll see right there, he just picked up a boost that took his rocket tank up to 100, which is what you want in the game.
You guys are going to see right here, Watto is trying to clear the ball, but there's no streak on it. Kyle clears it, and even Sharpie hits the ball right here, and there's a streak. That's what we call a bang. That's a hard hit that puts the ball in a meaningful direction at some good speed and velocity. Most of the time you're going to see it like that unless there's a calculated play where it's like, hey, we're going to try to dribble this ball or be specific in setting it up somewhere.
And right there, you heard in the distance a boom. That was a demo. That was a player from LA Tech, full speed, hit one of our players and took them off just out of the field for 3 seconds. And all our players, they do enter back in the game or respawn right by their goal. And you'll be seeing that throughout the matches tonight. So far, though, no score here in the first game.
Nope, and it looks like Kyle's getting demoed. Watto is the only one back, giving a good pass to Hudson. Let's see what he can do with it. Putting it on the backboard, but not able to finish that ball off.
Definitely seems like their strategy is to demo the Lions players, and so they can't score if they're not on the field.
Man.
But if they're on the field, they're punching it in. Crazy Kyle draws first blood here.
I mean, what good's a demo if you're going to do something with it? Kyle's setting it up off the wall, hitting his own little shot. Yeah, LA Tech wasn't able to defend that shot. That was a good placement.
Something we didn't mention in the pregame show last week, Crazy Kyle was a little bit under the weather, still came through, had a great game and got a win. Looks like he's back healthy tonight, and that's good news for the Lions.
Yep, we had Crazy Sick Kyle, now we just have Crazy Kyle. We're not sure if it's a level up or down, but we're going to see what's happening here. Hood misses the ball, leaves it for Watto. Watto with the shot, we're waiting on the demo. Oh! And
it looks like SAGU might be getting a little physical on the field, trying to put together some demos.
You guys might see it try to happen right there. If someone lets, if a player lets the person behind them hit the ball, the player up front will go for a demo so the goal is open. There's no chance of saving it. So keep an eye on some of those setups and plays as SAGU goes ahead and tries to make this offensive push.
Now, if you've watched soccer and you've seen something like set plays or where a whole bunch of players line up to block the ball, you can't really do that in Rocket League because of demos and an almost insane play there by Hood as the Lions just keeping the offensive attack up. But in Rocket League, you can't line up your cars and just protect the net because of those demos we were talking about. Full speed, and it turns into you being off the field for 3 seconds, and that's just almost impossible to keep the ball out of the net. Now, in Rocket League, there are ranks. The players can play in a ranked system, and we are watching the highest percent players in the game, the highest, approximately 20% of all players in the world. But tonight, the actual 6 that we're seeing on screen right now, these are the top 2% in the world. They're listed Grand Champ or higher.
Yep. And sorry, to piggyback off that, you have Grand Champ and you also have SSL, which is Supersonic Legend. Those are the 2 main echelons for high competitive Rocket League. And Sharpie getting the shot after the demo on SAGU's net right here.
You see a nice pass right there, a demo, and just, again, you can't just camp in front of the net. You can't just stay there. The opposing team that you're trying to protect against, they're going to send a car to bump you out of the way to demo and leave that net open. So you have to be strategic with where you're moving on the field and obviously in the air because this is 3D soccer.
Yeah, you can see SAGU trying to make an offensive push here. Watto getting a demo. Kyle's setting up maybe for Hood. He's going on his second touch on his own. Hood losing the 50. If you guys don't know what that is, that's when 2 cars are hitting the ball at the same time, and you kind of have to just hope and guess where it goes. There's some setups you can do for it, but most of the time it's just, can be anyone's ball.
So Hood's going to try to play this off the ceiling, And here comes Crazy Kyle flying around. He's going to set her up for Watto. Watto towards the net, but a huge block by Louisiana Tech. Wow, these Bulldogs are doing a great job at keeping the Lions at bay. Huge opportunity for SAGU. Unfortunately turned up empty, but they're still bringing the offensive pressure.
Yeah, looks like they're coming back to get some boost. Hopefully save that shot. Hoodrat with an excellent clear. Gets another
Ball's
hit.
Going
he might
towards
get
the
one more.
net if Crazy Kyle looks like he might have been out of boost there. And right now we're at a tie game. If this game's tied, we're going to overtime and the first goal wins. So we're pretty much at the point in the game. And Louisiana Tech didn't quite get the touch he wanted. That's going to be a save by Hood, and we are going to overtime. SAGU not unfamiliar with overtime in the ECAC.
Nope, but if some of you guys are, we're looking for a golden goal opportunity. First one to score on an unlimited timer. So you just keep going until someone puts it in the back of the net. Hood trying to make a push right now. It gets deflected by LA Tech, and we got Kyle coming up to stop it. Oh.
And right there you saw what might look like some miscommunication. Typically in this game, you don't want two players getting to the ball because it turns into a goal for the other team. Right there, Watto, Crazy Kyle, just both went for the ball, pass to the middle, and it was the own goal pass, kind of. It was such an awkward play, and unfortunately for the Lions, LA Tech is going to come away with the first win in this series.
Yeah, and honestly, this wasn't a bad game. Wasn't a bad showing. SAGU went out and made good attempts. Look at the shot count. 4-3-3. They were out there. They were putting stuff on frame. 5 saves. They only just let one go by that was on frame that they could mess with. So, there's not much that they could have done about that. Kyle coming in on that save on the last shot just cleared it into the other player, and that's the other player's read, not entirely Kyle's. It's the last-second save. So, I wouldn't say it was a bad performance and that there was much to completely criticize. But one game is just a 1 on the tally mark, Whether you lose by 1 or by 4 for your game, it's just a 1. So SAGU can pick up and start turning around on this. I think there shouldn't be any issues. Right here, what they could have done is got a pinch. And so that's when the ball hits the car and another object, which is another car in that case, and it could just send it out. So that could have been a really good thing, but they just didn't communicate that.
Yeah, in Rocket League, 2 cars, if they hit the ball at the same time, you get what he was talking about, which is a pinch, and a pinch lets that ball move so fast. It's almost impossible to react and block, and it looked like maybe they were going for it, not sure, but either way, didn't quite work out. But, SAGU, in their wins, they have often given up the first game. They tend to warm up over a 7-game series, so that's just one. There's a lot of Rocket League left to play as we are now entering game number 2.
Yep, I think it's called it's probably a conditioning process for SAGU. They want to get used to their opponent, see how they play, and see what chinks are in the armor, per se. Watto's still trying to make some pressure happen on this ball, but he's getting bumped out of the way. LA Tech playing very aggressive, and it's scary to see because you have all these plans and ideas of how you want to play, but if your car's getting bumped, you can't do anything with it.
Watto's going to get the ball right here. He's just going to pop it up off the backboard or that back wall. Great way to set up shots is just get that bounce and just kind of deflect it back in. Crazy Kyle comes flying in, keeping the pressure on here in the early going. Now, this game is a game where possession of the ball is absolutely critical. That was a huge save right there by Ken. I don't know that he's going to get credit on the stat sheet, but that was definitely a save. But Hood is going to be there to clean it up. Like you mentioned, Hood comes flying in to make this a 1-0 game.
3rd time's the charm on Ken. Excellent try right here to get both of those touches, but Hoodrat just seeing where the opportunities are, pushing him out of the way slightly.
And Watto almost got in the way by accident. He was coming across the field. He wisely flipped his car and got out of the way. Here we are again. SAGU, good start to game number 2. Ken do a nice little dribble right here. He's going to put that in front, but Hood read it all the way, and now he's back on offense. And what a fast pace of play we're seeing here in this series.
Yeah, Sharpie getting an excellent pass over to Ken. Nothing's coming to that. Looks like a clear. This looks like an open net for SAGU. Hood just getting a little touch on it, letting it roll on in. That's 2 goals on the counter for him just in this game.
Like we talked about, The SAGU team, they're warming up, and they are feeling good right now. Hood, just a little bump. That's an easy goal. He's not going to get an easier one in this game.
I'm pretty sure he's getting accused by his teammates of padding his stats. I do a stat sheet every week, so we're going to find out if it means anything later.
You can see those player cams on the left, and it looks like they might have been giving Hood a little bit of a hard time, but he will take it. The whole team will take it because 2-0 lead is better than being down 2 goals.
Oh, man.
And another huge save by Hood. He came to play tonight.
Wasted opportunity by LA Tech. There was 2 SAGU members who were demoed. So one just spawning in, one who wasn't there. You just had one guy defending in the net, and they just didn't communicate as to where each other were.
Now, I do want to make sure we give some credit to LA Tech. Is this another? Oh, I lied.
Oh,
I
no.
said it was.
No.
And
Wait.
Oh, my goodness. Hood, I said he wouldn't have an easier one, and I lied. He's at midfield. No one.
Look at the
on
turtle.
The defensive side, and Hoodrat does the turtle. He flips his car and uses his boost to shoot. And so far, SAGU up 3-0 in this game.
And it's only 2 minutes in. You know?
Yeah, we're not even at halftime of this game. And Watto's going to get a snipe from the backside of the field. It's 4-0.
We usually talk about there's the time where, you know, there's a wall on each side, and once the wall breaks, it's going in. That wall broke pretty early, and SAGU is just running away right now. It's not even halfway through. You got a 4-0 deficit. Not impossible, but very improbable for LA Tech to pick it up from here. This is a hard way to come back into a game.
LA Tech certainly needs to be locking down the defensive side. They are just leaving too many opportunities open, and we were just about to talk about how the midfield of Rocket League is so important because controlling the ball in midfield keeps that ball moving offensively. And so far, SAGU has been keeping that ball constant pressure, and they've caught a couple of mistakes by LA Tech, and it's 4-0. And this isn't too uncommon in Rocket League. When a team gets going, they just keep going.
Yep, and the only momentum stopper really is in between each game. You know, do you have a extra pause? Are you going to wait to go? Or are you going to use the 45 seconds you get in between matches? But I think SAGU might have some good momentum that they're going to take throughout this whole series, not just in this game.
Watto right there with a nice touch to keep the ball moving in the right direction for the Lions.
Getting another
Hood's
save.
going to try to play a little game. He's going to play a 50 right there, and he wins that one. Goes right towards their net. He's going to go for another 50, and he wins that one on a pinch going towards their net.
Hudson as a Hood, he's talked to me about 50s, and he, you know, it's supposed to be an improbable way of guessing, but he's told me, he's like, there's a way you can win every single one of them. He's like, it's situational, but if you maneuver your car right, you can do it. Well, it looks like he's proven to do it.
So far, he's turned the 50-50 into like a 70-30, as right now SAGU winning. Watto's going to go up for a dribble. He's out of boost right there. Kyle comes flying in, and a huge save by Tech. He's made a couple of great plays this game. As Hood's going to leave that one down to Watto for a touch. And now here come the Bulldogs. Kyle meets him in the air for a 50.
Yeah, and if you see that, Tech didn't go up for the ball after he got his touch. His team is communicating and letting the other people know, hey, SAGU's in the air. They got one in the air, you know, smoke in the air. Let's watch out. But Tech looking like he's a good defender. He's trying to get a good play set up for his team. Still the only one on his side. Not enough boost. Watto gets a floater coming into the top right corner.
This was a great team play right here. Crazy Kyle up ahead to Watto, and he's just going to give it the soft touch. Only 29 miles per hour, but placed perfectly, and that's all you need.
Yep.
5-0. This game's mostly over here, and SAGU's going to take this one. But if you're LA Tech, what adjustments do they need to be making here so that this will just be a tie series here in a second? What adjustments do they need to make to get back in it?
Well, I mean, probably about 2 of their goals were faults from, hey, we overcommitted. We had 3 people on their half, and then not even like at the half line. We were just in their zone. So you got to think about, hey, who overcommitted? Who was the person that didn't rotate out? So you got rotations. You also need to think about boost management. Tech probably could have saved the floater Watto sent up, but he didn't have enough boost to get to that height. Yeah. So there's nothing he can do about that. Really, probably just not being nervous is another key thing too. If you're nervous, you make some irrational plays and decisions, and you might overuse something or not be as accurate as you want to be.
Hood almost takes one for the road, but as it stands, that will be it for game number 2. The series is tied 1 game apiece, and SAGU feeling pretty good here in game 2. As you'll see some of these stats here, 12 shots on goal by SAGU, 0 for LA Tech.
Yep. If you can't put a shot on net, you really can't score. That's how that works. We're looking at a 66% shot accuracy from Watto, though. He was set up pretty great for both of them and was able to just put it into the net. So excellent job with him being able to convert on these things. Kyle's a playmaker. No saves, but obviously it's because there was no shots. But we're looking onto some of these right here.
Right there, that was a great save by LA Tech, but that touch right there, again, top 2% of players in the world. You just cannot leave a ball slowly moving on the ground in front of the net. These guys will capitalize, or they'll do this right here, where you just kind of punt the ball up ahead. And as I say that, this is, again, the second one in this game. Absolutely insane. You very rarely see that with players at this caliber. Now, LA Tech, this is, the 100 Rocket League teams in ECAC. 6 of them are from LA Tech. They're a huge Rocket League school.
Yep. Yeah, they're a massive school, and it's great to see programs that are getting that big. If they're, again, top 2% of the world, right?
Right.
Yeah, 18 of those people? That's wild. That's amazing for you as a team and able to handle those things going on. So, looks like LA Tech trying to make an advance.
And right now, that touch is floating in the middle in front of the net, and that's going to turn into a goal for Sharpie.
Look at that. Know the tech, getting the shot, at least to Watto, trying to make something happen, and just that extra little touch, just to get it by Kyle and Hood. That's amazing.
Now, that 5-0 game, it might as well have been a 1-0 game, because all it does is tie up the series. And right now, LA Tech, they're back out in front. They are in the driver's seat as a really nice shot by Hoodrat is going to go off the crossbar. You'll see him do that. He does that about once or twice a night. He just makes these reads off the ceiling. Speaking of Hood, here he comes again. Flying in, leaves that ball to the middle.
It is concerning as a caster and as a math-brained person to see that LA Tech does get the shot on first and get the point, because most of the time the team that scores first wins. So, you got to be worried if you're SAGU. Hey, are they setting the pace of the game? Is LA Tech setting the pace? How are we going to turn this around and make this our game again? Excellent.
And we're seeing right there, Hood made a little bump there on one of the Bulldogs, and that's what that sets up the goal to Kyle. What a team play by the Lions.
Yep, this is more complicated than what you think. Watto setting up the pass, but Hood got the bump to make the pass even happen.
And all 3 players either setting up their teammates for success, passing, shooting. This is textbook Rocket League right here. And what a surprise, tie game in game number 3.
Yep. And if you think about it, Hood might have been going up for the shot, right? Let's say he's going for the shot. If he would have got the touch on the shot, it would have made something happen. But shout outs to SAGU Rocket League's Lions team for adapting to whatever happens and being able to be prepared for it. That's more so a bigger idea than a playmaker, is being able to be ready for any play.
As a bump right there by Watto, Kyle gets the shot, but great save by LA Tech. Right now is an awkward spot here for both teams. Ken's going to come flying in. Kyle's going to kind of pass it out, and Sharpie should be clearing this here to the midfield. Watto comes flying in. And right now at midfield, no team really controlling the ball. It's just a lot of almost pinball at the moment.
Yep. Oh, that's an okay pass to Kyle, trying to set something up. Oh, nobody's able to follow to set that up.
And Watto's going to be able to safely keep this in the corner. Defensively in Rocket League, when you have the ball. And is this going to be a snipe goal here? It is!
What a
Hood
shot.
Rat from the back side of the field. Look how far back he is right here. He's barely past his own net. That's what we're saying. There's no offsides in Rocket League. If you can get that ball in the net, it's a goal every time.
Absolutely. Yeah, cherry pick the net if there's nobody back there. Why not take a shot?
And it's 2-1 SAGU, and we're barely 2 minutes into this game. Crazy Kyle comes flying in. And what do you see here in the Lions? What do they need to do to preserve this lead? And
I think of preserving the lead, and I don't like to think of just like playing defense. I think of extending it. I think 2 more goals should put LA Tech into the loss category for this round as well. So if they can start putting more shots on net and exposing the LA Tech's holes in their defense,
Yeah.
and they can just start doing more things like Hood right there.
And Hood just made another incredible play. Watch this right here on the replay. He has it on the hood of his car, flips it up, can try to keep it out of the way, but Hood knew he would go that direction and was already there to put it in the net. Hood is just out here seeing into the future.
Absolutely, and Ken tried to get the save, and it was a good attempt, but at this level, you need to hit the ball with purpose. You need to hit it with good direction and power. Oh my goodness, I thought that was in.
Almost, but some close plays here, and somehow, some way, SAGU not coming away with the goal on that possession.
Yeah, I'd probably demo Water there too, just purely out of frustration. Excellent work by Sharpie, but not able to get the save and follow up. We see this hit off an LA Tech car right here, so Kyle hits the shot, goes for a second touch, and Sharpie just flipped into it. Just that's a frustrating, that's a Wilkie special. that's what it's called.
Yeah, so we saw there flipping into the ball, just trying to get the ball to go to the corner, and instead of it going to the corner, got it off the front corner instead of the front of his car, and if you come off the corner, that's going to send the ball in a diagonal direction, and going at that angle, that's going in the net. This is a game of physics.
Yep.
I mean, you have to really think about angles. It's, in a sense, it's almost like playing pool in 3 dimensions, where you have to bounce off walls, and except here you're bouncing off of cars. And so far, SAGU having the upper hand as they've outscored LA Tech 9-1 in these last 2 games.
Yep, and I think, honestly, the pool analogy is perfect. If you're great at physics and geometry, and you understand how they work on this game, because obviously it's, it's not real-life physics, then
right.
If you understand it, you're able to make something happen and play this game really well.
Yeah, it's physics-based, again, we mentioned pregame, like gravity. You can see the ball and the cars, and they're in the air. They kind of just float a little bit. They don't quite come down. Like right there, you see that ball, almost like a beach ball floating. But it's a very heavy soccer ball in this game, and which is why when the cars strike it, it moves quick. Right there, Crazy Kyle tried to sneak one in. Not fast enough. Hood tries to sneak one in, and the Tech reading that one all the way. Watto's going to take a shot, and that finally goes in. 5 goals again for the Lions here in Game 3.
Yeah, Sharpie out of position right here. Doesn't quite know what he's supposed to be doing. Tried to back up, but the rotation just wasn't it, and he wasn't able to get in there. That's a lot of pressure on the defense. That's something that's just frustrating to play against. All this offensive pressure that the Lions are putting up.
You'll see a lot of Rocket League teams. They'll do what's called rotating. They'll take one car, goes for the ball. They're going to be out of position. They'll rotate. Their teammate comes in to then go for the ball.
What a save.
Has incredible Rocket League here in game number 3. And this rotation in defense is real tough to do. And right there, the Tech, they found a little crack, and they find their way in. There's the demo off the backboard, and the Tech's going to put that in every time.
Yep, that's a good morale booster for your team. Know that these Giants are not, impossible to slay or cut on and move into, but it's too little too late for Game 3. Game 4, maybe something, but the momentum changes every game.
A 7-game series, I mean, again, doesn't matter what the score is, it's just how many games you win or lose. So the LA Tech likely going to be down 1 game, but all they need is 1 goal in the next game. If they can keep the Lions scoreless, we're back to being tied. It's just how the momentum of a 7-game series works. Hood trying to get one for the road and kill some of the momentum the LA Tech's picked up, but either way, it's still a win. Hood leads the way. Crazy Kyle in support. And Watto played himself a great game. 689 points. The score there that you're seeing on that column, it's not as important in Rocket League. It's kind of joked that it's a bit arbitrary. But the goals, the assists, the shots, those are all very real stats.
Yep. One thing that we got to mention here, though, is that there was 5, or I'm sorry, not 5. Let me do math real quick. 8 shots by LA Tech, okay? 2 of them were goals, so 6 shots that could have been saved or had an opportunity. There's only two saves. So were these shots on frame? Were they off frame? What's the opportunity here? So for SAGU, you want to think, hey, during this game, did we save everything that we possibly could? Were we playing perfect? Is there anything that we can improve on with that? Because it was very offensive. It's one of the things that you have to worry about because, again, we had 13 shots on net. So, we're very offensive, but if they start putting cracks through, if there's the one shot and then the other shot, and you're not saving more than what you need to, that's going to be a really big detriment to the Lions offense and defense for this next game.
And they had 8 shots. That's not bad,
Nope.
at least at this level. I mean, 8 shots, as a coach, you feel like, okay, we would have liked a few more, but 8's good enough. And they still got 2 goals, so not terrible, 25% accuracy. But like you mentioned, SAGU not getting all the saves, which means that ball, even though it's not going in the net, it's bouncing off the wall and it's not getting defended. Right there, Crazy Kyle keeps what's called a kickoff goal from going in. That would have been a great momentum booster for the Bulldogs here.
Oh man, I thought he was higher. Watto going up, getting met in the air, losing his 50.
And now Rocket League games typically played on the ground, but we're seeing these guys, they're playing off the ceiling against each other. Every pixel of this map is in play, especially when guys like Hood and Watto are just moving around the field at max speed.
And nobody is safe. Nobody is safe from being demoed. Nobody's safe from getting any perfect setup that they want. You have to fight for every square pixel that you can get, because that's just the nature of the game. Everyone is everywhere all the time, doing everything in every position. So if you're not able to adapt to it, see, look, Ken,
Bump
getting
right there.
bumped out of there. Watto's going to take a shot, gets the chip.
Almost put that one in.
And the Tech with an excellent save.
That right there is what Watto brings to this team. He's always looking for that opportunity and to make the other team pay. And he right there, an opportunity. Gets that demo.
Making him pay for B there.
But creates a shot for Kyle. So even though he's not the one putting that shot in, he is a playmaker. Exactly what SAGU needs. Hood's going to go off the back wall here and attempt to block this. Here comes Sharpie flying in. He's going to put that off the backboard, but Crazy Kyle clears it away.
Can we just note how it's been scoreless for a minute and a half? I haven't seen this in a few games. Excellent Rocket League's being played right now.
Yeah, definitely feels like a return maybe to game 1 where the teams were a little more patient, playing a little more cautious. Here comes Crazy Kyle down the middle, and it's not going to be quick enough. That's an easy save for Sharpie. Eventually, though, you can just sense one of these teams is going to make a mistake, and it's going to give their team a huge momentum. Whenever there's no score in the first 2 minutes,
There's
the first
a score
team
right
that
here.
scores.
What a
but
save by
Ken
Ken.
gets that. Whoever's going to score first is going to statistically win this game. And being up 2-1, SAGU would love to be up 3-1 and just keep the pressure on the Bulldogs.
Yep. Something we got to look at right here. Oh, Watto. Excellent shot off the crossbar. No Lions members.
Here comes Crazy Kyle flying in. He says, hey, I'll be there to cash in that goal. It's 1-0 Lions.
Stuffed it back into the net. Look at this dunk by Kyle. Coming in, winning the 50, getting the nice touch. I think we're about to see that wall start breaking.
Now, right at the bottom there, it'll tell you who scored and how fast that ball was moving. It said 56 miles an hour. Crazy Kyle was moving about 112 miles an hour. He was flying in there. They got a little bit of a touch, but it wasn't enough to stop. He was moving that fast that even though they got a touch on the ball, still 56 miles an hour into the net. As we're now about halfway through the game, still only 1 goal scored. Anything can happen. But right now, if you're SAGU, you have to like what you see, except they're going to meet them right.
The wall has come down on both sides.
Ken coming right here. Sharpie, that backboard pass, and Ken punches that in down the middle. Little Texas look there on the goal explosion with the cowboy hat. But SAGU, they're the Texas team. And they're going to say, hey, we want to be in control of this game.
Absolutely. You're going to see that SAGU is most likely going to start making Louisiana Tech pay for every inch on this field. This is not anyone's home turf, but SAGU is trying to make it home. They're going to make them pay, and they do not even want to be close to a tie. They don't want to be tied. They don't want to be down. They want to win. They want to win by a lot. Even if it's just 1 point, you still as a winning team want to be that team that says, hey, we showed up. We're here. LA Tech is now owning the field. Change the rent. Change the landlord. Let's start paying rent for this. SAGU needs to step up and own the space.
And right there, SAGU a little bit out of position, and LA Tech making them pay. Like we said, these are excellent teams, and you just can't be left even slightly out of position where you're going, oh, should I move to the left to block or move to the right to block the pass? They're just not at a good spot right there. Ken had an open net. Kyle was able to make the save, but it's going to eventually turn into another goal, and here we go. 3-1.
Back
Game
at it
4.
again. No game 7s? Maybe? Not sure anymore.
Not so sure. Either way, plenty of time for SAGU to pick up a couple goals. It would help to get one before the 60-second mark. We'll see what happens here on the kickoff.
Hood getting bumped, not able to get the follow-up, which means that the whole team is set up in an awkward position. Waddle coming up off the wall. He's trying to get a touch to the backboard. Who's in the air?
Huge pass.
Oh,
But
nobody was there.
But Kyle was too far up. He thought that pass would come a lot closer to the back wall. And Watto put a little bit too much space. Speaking of Crazy Kyle, here he comes. He's got a chance. One-on-one, and no!
What a save.
Sharpie comes in with a huge play. And this is still a 3-1 game. We said SAGU needed a goal with 60 seconds left. They almost got it right there.
Way.
But Hood is going to get it. Nah, barely.
Wow.
Can't save it by LA Tech. And here comes Hood. Look at this right here. He makes the flip. One more touch.
So good.
No, the Tech almost saved it.
No, the Tech was unaware and did not know. What an excellent touch by Hood to put it into the back of the net. There's one goal left that's setting these teams from going to overtime. Nobody hits the ball in the first one. We're going to play aggressive. Hood getting the bump right off the bat. It does not look like it's in SAGU's favor. Hood having to make a play, low boost.
They gave Hood a lot of respect right there, and then I think they figured out he might not have boost because he wasn't going for the ball at his breakneck speed like he normally does, and they started swarming. Here comes Watto. He's going to put one on net. Ken's going to save it off the crossbar. Excellent save by the Bulldogs. Here comes Hood. He's going to go up for I thought he was going to go for a pass off the wall to himself, dial his own number.
Watto getting beat right there. Hood not getting the big 50 when he usually gets. Kyle barely getting it. It's a neutral spot. Looks like LA Tech has a chance to put the last shot in the net.
And right now they're trying to, and he gets it!
Excellent
Sharpie
shot.
with an incredible shot here off the wall. The ball, I don't think actually touched the ceiling, but amazing car control. And LA Tech, they came back here in Game 4 and said, no, we're here to play.
Yep. This might be looking like an L for SAGU. I've seen goals scored in the same amount of time that's been on the net, or on the clock, but we're not going to look at something that's going to be finished here. LA Tech evening up the set to 2-2. Wow, what a performance by Sharpie.
Sharpie absolutely stepped up. What a clutch player.
Yep. He the first three, I would say that really it's game 2. Game 3, he was not able to hit everything that he wanted, but look at this, 2 goals, 2 assists. He was a part of every play for their team for an offensive push. 1 save, 3 shots, 66% average. And it looks like we have Hudson disconnected, so he'll be coming back here in a second. We'll wait for him to load up. Yeah. But wow, what a game by LA Tech. That was some good Rocket League.
And SAGU had more shots in that game, but they just weren't able to get through that steel curtain of LA Tech. Crazy Kyle making a great goal right here as we look at some of these Game 3 replays. Look at that back wall pass, and Ken is going to cash that in every time. Speaking of Ken, here he comes for a pass down the side, and that one he missed it right there, but that's just an awkward play, and Sharpie with just the game sense to be at the right place at the right time. In basketball, some players are just so good at getting a rebound. They just know right where to be under just under the rim, and you see it here. Sharpie's that guy for LA Tech.
Yep, game recognition and premonition as to where the ball is going to be. That's a massive factor into what you see for Rocket League. If you're going to be hitting the ball, you have to know generally what area is going to go to after you're done. You got to think more than one step ahead. You have to think 2, 3. Make sure you have an idea about what's going on.
As we head here to Game 5 in the best-of-7 series.
Hood with an amazing save.
We're talking about Sharpie. He just put one on net. Here comes Watto trying to sneak one in, but that's going to be saved by Ken. Incredible Rocket League here. Now, SAGU has currently outscored LA Tech 13-8, but it's only 2-2 in the series. So
oh my goodness.
Hood almost. Oh my goodness. Watto almost. And almost is not going to cut it, as right now SAGU can't buy a goal.
Welcome to episode 3 of The Postman, where Hood is coming out onto the crossbar and has now hired Watto. 2 shots on frame, but not on target. Kyle trying to make a push right now, going in the air, getting a touch. Not in, no follow-up.
Now, Kyle did a great job. He's at the right place, he's at the right time, but he just can't get the velocity on the shot. And LA Tech, this defense is not going to allow anything easy in.
Wow, what a 50. Wow, so Kyle went in, knew someone was demoed, and hunted the spawn area. So when you get demoed, you respawn, but there's only 2 spots where you can do it. It's on your back right or your back left. Kyle, knowing that that was going to happen, made his car be in that area so he can interrupt anyone from getting back into the play. Made it a 2-on-2. It was a very smart move by him. Does not look like it's proving any fruit. Sharpie with an excellent shot off the wall, beating, I think it's Hood right here.
Yeah, and Sharpie midway through this series, he's just figuring things out. That's an almost impossible angle in the game right there. Coming along that back wall, so easy for that to just balance out even to like midfield, and he just put that in. And right now, all the momentum on the side of the Bulldogs. Waddle here is going to have to make a play off the back wall as this LA Tech team, they're keeping the offensive pressure up, controlling the midfield. See, they're keeping that ball right there in the middle, and even when SAGU gets a touch, they're right back at the ball, making a play.
Looks like Hood's going to try to do something with this. Play a little slow, try to get a good 50 that SAGU can move off of. Watto a little too slow to get there. Kyle's going to have to turn on this one.
Here comes Sharpie. He's off the wall. What can he do? We know. Back wall pass. No, the Tech was slightly out of position. That will not result in a goal. Hood with a big clear.
Looks like Kyle's going to be the one to chase this. Gets on ball, gets a rebound.
Oh, and Hood went for the shot, but just not quite the right angle for him to get that in.
I think he's trying to read the save instead of just going just for the shot, and LA Tech just left it alone.
Hood going up to the ceiling. He's out of boost though, so he's got picked up the boost pill there in the corner. As here comes Kyle going for the reset. He gets it, but a little bit too late. As now LA Tech, they're going to get their chance here to put something on net.
Excellent flick by Sharpie with no boost on that, by the way. Trying to make something happen for his team.
Kyle's going to punt this one away. Up to Watto ahead, who just couldn't quite get a touch on it.
And that's a crazy touch to even try to attempt. You know, the idea of you having to get to a ball in a place that's moving that you can't really even see where your car is a fantastic idea of how skilled can we be. Looks like a
reset by Hood, and that's going to be off the crossbar. And postman Hood, unfortunately, having to deliver another envelope to the no man's land. Here comes Kench. LA Tech. Oh, it's an opportunity for SAGU, but a huge clear by the Bulldogs. As right now, SAGU just fighting to keep traction in this game. It just feels like it's slipping.
You know, if Hudson had a relationship with a goal, he's being left on red time and time again. It is not going well for him, and his shots, as they are not able to just go in. Not even that they're getting saved. They're just hitting post and not right exactly where he wants them to be.
And Ken is going to get what might have been a pinch goal right here. 90 miles an hour.
Oh, yeah, that's a pinch. Ain't no way.
See right here, Ken and Hood went for it. And like we talked about a pinch, it is almost impossible to react when it's moving at 100 miles an hour in the game. And right now, 2-0. Bulldogs lead, but 2-0. That's the toughest score to protect. As SAGU, they really need to find a goal here in the next 20 seconds or so to have a chance. Here comes Hood. Pokes it up in the air. Head to Kyle. Back to Hood. And the top right corner. He doesn't get it in. Watto's going to come in, but it's a little too late. That was the chance that we just said SAGU needed, and they just weren't able to capitalize. A huge save by No the Tech. He has just been all over
all-time defender.
Wall. A big save by Watto. What is happening here in the last 60 seconds? And for the Lions, unfortunately, LA Tech, they're able to cash this in because it goes off that crossbar. Off the post, I should say. And
yeah, that's a good shot.
Just like that, it's 3-0.
18 seconds left. Not sure if you really want to think about this being a comeback moment or if you want to just start reforming, getting ready for game 5 here, or game 6 as we're going into it.
SAGU needs to keep their heads here, and man, somehow they need to find a way to regroup here because this is a huge game.
You could see towards the end of the game when they started, when LA Tech started scoring, getting bumped by Hudson, or Hudson was getting bumped. They saw that he was a threat on getting shots, K4 shots. Kyle didn't get any on, and Watto only had 2, so that's 6 opportunities. Again, look at the saves, only 3 on each side, over 8 and 6 shots. So it's not that, you know, we're not taking shots. It's both teams are not entirely 1,000% accurate. And so it's not able to work, and it's not able to be presented in a way of like, hey, these shots are meaningful, they're going into the net. It's no, they're off. We got to start putting shots on frame.
And we talked about how in games 2 and 3, SAGU outscoring LA Tech 10-2. Well, now they've been outscored 7-2 in the last 2 games. LA Tech's made some very good adjustments, and most notably, Crazy Kyle got 0 shots on goal that last game. And SAGU, they just tend not to win if Crazy Kyle's not getting 1 or even just 1 shot on goal. You need him moving in the offensive side of the field, just causing chaos and letting Hood come in. And, I mean, hey, even Watto has made some great shots and scored some goals when SAGU was really at their peak in games 2 and 3. But here we go, game number 6. SAGU, they're 2 and 3 in the ECAC, 2 wins, 3 losses, only 8 weeks. Oh, a huge save there. Again, you have 8 weeks, 8 games. You need 4 to go to the playoffs. So SAGU's got 2 of the 4 wins they need to make it to playoffs. And right there, Hoodrat is going to punch this one in, and here we go again. SAGU up 1-0 early.
You guys saw me on my phone lacking on stream. I'm sorry. This is the reason I did it. I told our guys, be aggressive, be someone that's going to go after the ball and actually put the shot in the net. That's motivation they need. First goal, this is a good sign. It means SAGU most likely is able to have the chance to take the lead for this and hold the lead for this game, forcing a game 7.
And speaking of aggressiveness, Ken with a huge demo right there, because Crazy Kyle, he had an open net and had a very good chance to make this a 2-0 game. But here we are. SAGU keeping the pressure up.
Hood in a very tough position, having to beat a one-on-one, is just not able to get to the spot that he needs to. This is an excellent job by LA Tech, forcing the ball down from Watto. No Tech getting the shot, and he was like, okay, top right corner. Hood's not going to be able to be there. That's just kind of the thing.
Put it at the only spot Hood wasn't going to be able to get it, and surprise, surprise, tie game. Here comes Watto on the kickoff, and Hood's going to get a shot here on the net. But who else? Sharpie there, keeping that from getting to be too dangerous for the Bulldogs.
Can I just note, these look like 2 different teams from game 1, 2, and 3. 2 entirely different teams have been playing since the beginning of this series, and that's how crazy this game can be. It's an entirely different attitude, play style, methodology. SAGU downloaded some data the first time and started to capitalize on it. LA Tech now downloading data on SAGU themselves, making changes to adjust, and we're back at a 1-1 game in a possible final game if LA Tech wins this. But
a huge save by Hood as he jumps up at the last possible moment to clear it. And we're seeing right now SAGU, when they get the ball, they're just kind of hitting the ball just across the field, hoping it's going to land, and they're just not getting the control that we're seeing out of LA Tech right there. And know the Tech is going to get his 2nd goal of this game.
4 misses, 1, 2, okay, 3, 4. This is Know the Tech's game. It's his world that we're living in. We need to figure out how to end that reign and rule of terror.
And for SAGU, you know, their play style, we talked about, play aggressive, play quick, create some chaos. Don't let LA Tech get in a rhythm. This is I know this LA Tech team, they're 1-4, but this is a proud Rocket League school. Oh. They know how to play the game, and so does Hoodrat.
Yeah, look at this. He gets a double tap right here, comes off the wall, hits it to the backboard, looks for the next touch. Boom. That's a goal. And it's not the post either.
And that right there is extremely high levels of Rocket League. You have to play this game several thousand hours to be able to make that look as easy as Hoodrat just did. As he's going to bring SAGU back to even in game number 6. SAGU is on game point, or match point.
Yeah.
They need to get this win or they are going home.
Yeah, you don't want to be sitting there and hear the announcer from Wii Sports when you're playing tennis say advantage or match point. You want to hear them say deuce after this game and get into your last game and start taking the win there. But we still have this game yet to be played. Halfway through right now, 2-2. Sharpie getting an excellent clear off the side. And it looks like he's setting up for his teammate Ken, trying to get a shot off the wall. No boost, forcing a 50. Watto missing the clear. Oh, he does get the clear. And the Tech just drifting out. Sharpie trying to get a touch. Kyle trying to bang out. Oh, looks like we're finally getting an offensive push from SAGU. Still getting defended by the Tech. He is everywhere this game. 2 goals. He's in the net. He's able to handle everything that's being thrown at him.
2 goals for SAGU, 2 goals for LA Tech. 2 minutes remaining in game number 6. Crazy Kyle's going to pass one down to Hood, and he's going to be there to punch it in. SAGU takes a 3-2 lead.
I got to take off my hat now. That's a hat trick. Excellent job from Hood, reading this pass from Kyle, sending it up, and it's just unsavable. That's just excellent play.
A fabulous pass there by Crazy Kyle. We're going to commend Hood there for the shot, but wow, what an incredible play by Kyle. We talked about him in Game 5, wanted to see him get something going offensively, but if he's not going to get shots or goals, we're fine with him getting a few assists.
Yep. Oh, man. Hood with an excellent slave, just trying to get the ball out so there's no pressure. Watto not getting a touch, waiting for Kyle to get a bang. No SAGU members are there to receive it, though. Sharpie's going to have his way with this ball.
He's got space.
Going for a flick. Watto finally gets a save on it.
Here comes Crazy Kyle. He's going to float that one up off the back wall. Makes it awkward for them, but Hood has to play back as he was the last man back on defense. Tried to get another one of those goals off that side wall, but LA Tech's wise to that one now. Sharpie going for a demo, and I think we're gonna see LA Tech here go back to their bread and butter.
Yep.
Keep the demos going and keep that defense strong and try to get a snipe type goal.
I think LA Tech is trying to slow this game down, trying to get smaller touches instead of banging the ball out. I don't know if that's the best play for them. They have had excellent passing plays that have been almost choreographed to a T. Kyle coming up in the ball, coming off of his car wrong.
A missed touch, and Watto tries to go for the save, and that is the core of the game right here for LA Tech. Capitalize on a missed touch. Kyle was not trying to get the ball to go back that you just saw right there. He was trying to get the ball to go the complete opposite, and in a game of physics that is Rocket League, a few pixels makes the difference to where that ball goes.
Absolutely. 40 seconds left. Your hands are shaking. You're nervous. This is your game 6. This is you could be your match game that you have to be worried about. SAGU trying to get an offensive push to move into this, to get the ball to the back of the net. And it looks like it's going to start right here with Kyle. Kyle passing. Oh, nobody's there.
SAGU not in a great position right now. Here comes Watto. He's going to attempt to get something off the back. What? He's going to just put it in himself. Look at the angle of this on the replay.
It's like, okay, I think I can get this. And he just walks away.
Soft touch. And Hood was there. If he would have just gone straight across, Hood probably puts that in. But he's able to get the angle to the net itself, which I don't think LA Tech was ready for.
Nope. I would have picked the angle rather than the pass. You could see that Hood had the background of the shot being covered just in case LA Tech tried to bank up or right. And it was just going to be going in. So excellent job by Watto and Hood for positioning himself in that area. Looks like SAGU's going to try to just defend the net for 2 seconds and smack the ball down.
Now that ball touches the ground. This game is over. LA Tech's trying to keep it in the air. Crazy Kyle can't get the ball down. Hoodrat's going to try to get a touch, and he does. He gets it down. This series is tied 3 games apiece, and what a surprise. The SAGU Lions are going to take this one to at least game 6, and now we're going to game number 7.
3 shots from Hood. That is altered the hat on my head. It is now gone. We don't have that anymore. We're playing the rest of the series without it. 6 shots by him, 3 shots by Watto. 1 of those going in, 2 assists. Looks like some okay team play coming out here, but only 1 save by SAGU. Out of the 5 shots, that means only 1 missed really by LA Tech. And LA Tech, that was just good. You can't be upset about that.
The Tech started this game so well, made some great goals. We had talked about his defense, and he shows up right here. Watch this right here. Whoop! Misses one guy. Whoop! Miss another. And that's just an easy goal. And it's 2-1, 3 minutes to go. You just start to sense SAGU is on the ropes. And then here they come. Hoodrat puts one in, and you're just like, oh, what is going to happen at a tie game. Could SAGU, are they going to slip up?
And Hoodrat out here coming out and saying, another one, taking 3, and this looks like it's going to be the pass from Kyle, and it's just not a good one. Not
Kyle's best right there, but you know his team, they pick him up and they get that last goal. What an incredible, incredible series. As we're going to game number 7 here with LA Tech Gray against the SAGU Lions. SAGU needs the win to stay in contention here in the ECAC playoffs. And LA Tech, they can't lose another game the rest of the season if they want a shot at the playoffs. So
absolutely,
these teams fighting, and Crazy Kyle's going to get the angle. No goals last few games. He's going to cash in early here.
Absolutely. If you guys are in the chat right now, give us a hashtag #NoGame7s, because right now Kyle is making moves to finally show up for this last game. It takes 7 games for SAGU to start popping up and showing up for this, but I think we're ready to play now. It only took a whole series to get there. But face-off win for LA Tech. They won the 50. Got demoed, trying to put pressure with 2 men only on the field. Kyle getting a good clear, but it looks like Ken is going to be there. He's going to try to get some touches on this, maybe some bumps. Gets the demo. The Wado must clear that ball out. Kyle there for the save.
What an incredible save by Crazy Kyle across the bottom of the net. He was able to read that and somehow keep LA Tech scoreless.
Looks like Hood's trying to make a play right here. Just gets the ball into open space. Wado there, reading it. Hood might be able to come out. Wado going for a double touch, misses it. Kyle is last man. Oh, and a jump sends him out of play and into a bad position. Hood now come back in the defensive spot. What a save!
Crazy Kyle is out of his mind in game number 7. Another huge save.
Sick Kyle is back and ready to play, making moves and seeing if he can get some more bumps and demos into the net.
Want to give credit to LA Tech. It's a great Rocket League school, and they're going to punch this one in. And are we tied again with about 3.5 minutes to go?
Yep, it's still a no game 7 situation. We say that because in every Rocket League season, most of our games are going to game 5 in a best of 3. Well, we had no game 5s. So now it's game 7. So now we've moved that to no game 7s. Here we are, giving you guys nail-biting content and performance by SAGU. Whether it's their intention or not, we're here for a long time and a good time. Hood trying to make this ball go up, taking 3 members of LA Tech on his own.
Winning some 50s, but SAGU needs to be able to get this ball moving out of their net. And so far, LA Tech giving them the business, controlling the boost and making it tough right here. Here's an opportunity for Sharpie. He's dangerous. We now see Hood's perspective. He's going to go for another 50, and I'll say he wins that one.
Yeah, he angled his car down as he was coming. He didn't just land flat. He angled it down. He tried to get the pinch and the momentum of his car being the bigger space for the 50. The more hitboxes, which is where your car is and the location of where the touches are, more hitboxes available to you on a 50 means the more chance that you actually have to win those.
Now these cars, you can see visually, they've got a hood, they've got wheels, but they have technically in the game, there's something called a hitbox. It's the actual part of the car that interacts with the ball. It's not exactly the car as if you had taken a soccer ball to an actual car. It's a little bit bigger than that. And knowing how to use that hitbox is a very advanced move that Hood is very good at.
Oh, LA Tech sending 2 people out.
Oh,
Hudson with the fake! It's off the post!
And who else but Sharpie comes in with an incredible save, and it's still a 1-1 game.
Excellent play by LA Tech to make and recover that, because that was going to be a losing situation. Hudson had him dead to rights, and Sharpie came in. Excellent move on their part.
We have a shout out to Shockrath, Lidge, and Jonesy in the chat. Thanks for watching from both teams. We've got fans, and what a great game we've been able to witness here in Game 7. As we're at Game 7. We're tied at 3 games apiece, and we're tied 1 goal apiece. And I have no idea who's going to win this game. I can't tell.
Nope.
The momentum just keeps swinging back and forth so quickly.
And that's why I never want to make predictions for who's going to win, because honestly, you see Game 1, okay, close game. Game 2, blowout. Game 3, blowout. Game 4, honestly, a blowout. Game 5 was too. Game 6 was close. SAGU barely having a clutch bone in their body.
Oh,
and we don't know who's got one here.
Sharpie, he's looking clutch right now with another save for the Bulldogs. Here comes Wado trying to get the ball out of the SAGU half. Crazy Kyle, that's not going to be registered as a save, but it should have been.
My
and
goodness.
Hood does get a save. this SAGU defense having to stay on their toes this one.
Kyle trying to clear the ball out center. Hood getting a good doink. It's a little touch off the top of his car. Not able to convert anything off that. Kyle still holding the ball. Making a midfield presence here. Know the Tech trying to see if he can get another flick on the team.
Just a reminder, if this score is tied at the end of regulation, we go to overtime and the first goal wins. So we're almost in pre-overtime, if you will, right now with the way these teams are playing.
Yep. Next goal will win.
We went to overtime in game 1. LA Tech got the win on a very close play. And unless something happens in the next 30 seconds, we might be heading back to overtime, which is and that overtime is unlimited time. It's as long as it takes to score a goal. And we'll be here for it on the SAGU Sports Network as we're down to 10 seconds left. Watto in kind of a tricky spot right here.
Do you smack it down or do you keep it up?
He's going to opt to just take it down. He's got Hood. He's trusting him. Crazy Kyle up in the air. Game keeps going as long as it doesn't touch the ground.
Oh my goodness!
It touched the ground. We're going to overtime. The opportunity was there. Hood had it on net, and it just another second on the clock, and that would have been the win. And SAGU's got to recover here. They cannot focus on that shot. Here comes Hood with a shot. It's on, and it's
my goodness!
It's going to be blocked again.
Another shot. Another
save! Hood, he's going to slow this down right here. He's going to take it off the wall. Goes for the 50. And have we been treated to an excellent game of Rocket League tonight between LA Tech Gray and the SAGU Lions? Who wants it more?
Oh, Hood might be able to set something up here. Watto could be coming off the wall. He is. It's a ceiling pass.
To Crazy Kyle. Hood's going to have to 50 this. Crazy Kyle back. He's going to go to the middle, but no one's there to follow because they've had to rotate back, make sure they didn't leave themselves vulnerable to a goal. Here comes Crazy Kyle. He's going to go off the left side here. This is going to pop up, and he's just going to have to go steal their boost. Here comes Watto. Hood playing it safe. He's rotating back. Real smart play here.
That's a flip.
Over a minute into overtime.
Ooh,
Watto with that was a really
that was hard.
A close one.
Oh my goodness!
That's not going to do it. The saves in overtime been incredible, and Hoodrat with another save. Oh my goodness, we're 90 seconds in, and both teams have had at least 3 chances to win this game, just in overtime alone.
Oh my goodness. I've been through some things in my life. I am extremely tense right now. This is a wild game. It's going every direction. Watto needing to make this save right here. Goes off the top.
And Ken is going to come flying in. And LA Tech Gray is going to get the win in overtime in Game 7. Oh my goodness. What a close one here. As SAGU is going to go to Game 7, play their hearts out, and unfortunately, once again, come up 1 goal short. Unbelievable play.
Wow.
What a Game 7 by LA Tech.
Excellent job to LA Tech. Way to put it into the net, Ken. That was an amazing shot and opportunity. SAGU played their heart out. They played everything out, but sometimes it's just that 1 goal that makes a difference. It doesn't mean you can have a 5-0 win, you can have a 4-2 win, you can have a 3-0 win, but the 1 goal.
Wow.
That's how it's been.
What an incredible series by the Lions and the Bulldogs. Unbelievable.
See if we can get some highlights here. This is going to show out where Know the Tech turns, and Kyle just makes the shot. Excellent move here. So many awesome plays. Honestly, we could probably take the whole overtime and all the shots and saves that were happening there. We can make another highlight reel out of this. This is just an amazing series. It's a great thing to be a part of. Excellent job again to LA Tech for playing so well and just being in the Lions' face the entirety of the match. Because honestly, it's a presence. You guys had presence on the field, and that's one thing that you want to consider is, hey, are we just playing, or do we have like a bodily presence? Do we have a mental presence? And so that's an excellent thing that they did throughout the entirety of the series. SAGU, again, still playing, still has a chance technically for playoffs. They have to win their last 2 matches. One of those is against an undefeated
team. Both teams now 2-4. Both teams have to win the last 2.
So, nobody's out of contention yet, and there's still more Rocket League to be played within these next 2 weeks.
Now, we talk here about SAGU. They played great. How about the Bulldogs and the play by Know the Tech and Sharpie just flying around the field, making plays just by the skin of their teeth in game number 7?
Yeah, they were holding on to everything that they had. It was Bon Jovi out here singing "Living on a Prayer." They took the lyrics to heart, and they stepped out on the field with that exact mentality of, hey, we have to make it work. We'll give it a shot. We'll see what we can do. And, it just proved to bear fruit at the end.
3 of the games decided by 1 goal. SAGU's definitely had some closer series this season. Back in game number 1, every single game was won or lost by 1 goal. So they're picking up some momentum, but if you win by back to games 2 and 3, they were up 5-0, they were up 5-2. There's just 2 games. That's it. So disappointing end for the Lions, but the season's not over. They still have a chance like we mentioned, they still have a chance at the playoffs. They've got 2 games coming up here. Next week we'll see them play UNC Greensboro Gold.
Okay.
Followed by Stockton Blue. Stockton Blue is a very good team. Stockton Blue, like a lot of these LA Tech teams, undefeated, a very high Rocket League type school. They love Rocket League. Which, just a note on LA Tech Gray, the team coming in this game was 1-4, as you see on the bottom of the screen. But this is a team that's probably scrimmaging against those other LA Tech teams.
Absolutely.
And they're very good.
Yes. If you have an esports league, okay, or you have your own team, collegiately, whatever, you want your lower teams to scrim against better people. You want them to lose to learn to adapt. Right now, the Lions team is the top team. So you got to think, hey, where's the extra practice coming in? We can't just provide that ourselves, so we have to go out and seek it. They have it just in there, and that's such a big advantage to the program. It's a fantastic tool to have in the back pocket for hey, if you guys are going against a team that we know is better than you, let's put you against people that are similar rank. And so you want to find that in scrims and in practices. And so that could have been excellent preparation if they were doing that to have that happen and start preparing for the other teams. Yeah. But yeah, it's a great advantage. I can go on to all of that, and we could be here all night. But I have a Devo later at 9 that's actually streamed on SAGU Esports, so you guys can see that. But I'm sure there's other things we can talk about for the final few minutes as well. Do you have anything else?
Yeah, speaking of just the SAGU Esports as a whole, SAGU has a Call of Duty tournament coming up. Our own head coach here, Zach Wilkie, we just recorded a promo, and we're going to play it for you right now.
You are invited to compete in the very first SAGU Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Open Tournament. The format will be the Search and Destroy rule set from the Call of Duty League. Teams of 4 will compete head-to-head in a double elimination bracket. The online qualifier date is April 1st. That's no joke. And the top 8 teams will continue on April 15th at SAGU in the Esports Arena. Grab some friends and scan the QR code to register, and from that registration page, you will have access to the SAGU Esports Discord server where you can find teammates, get tips from collegiate Call of Duty players, and contact us if you have any questions. I look forward to seeing you and everyone compete in the SAGU Esports first Call of Duty Open Tournament.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong here, Coach Wilkie, but it's our first tournament, the inaugural Call of Duty tournament here at SAGU.
Yes, first Call of Duty tournament. We've hosted many Smash Brothers tournaments. We've gone out and hosted those, but Call of Duty is the one that we feel this is the inaugural semester for it. Why not have that out? Why not get you guys plugged in through Discord? You guys can join this tournament. If you have the links for the QR code, you can scan it there. It's going to be broadcasted and live streamed where the whole esports team is coming in to help produce and host this. So on that first day, we'll pick some teams that we think are going to be good to watch, and we'll have them viewed and spectated. And on the last day, on April 15th, I'm really excited. They'll be able to play in the arena. They'll be able to come out and see, and we'll host it all in McCafferty Hall at SAGU. That's in the admin building. It's a big castle-looking thing, and it's going to be a blast. I'm super excited, and I think it can turn out to be really, really good for the team, and honestly, for the whole community out there.
Now, if you are a high school student especially, make sure you're connecting with SAGU Esports. Join them on Discord. It's a great way to get in. Even if you're not going to play in the tournament, you play a different game, that's a great way to get connected. You can start talking to some of the collegiate athletes, start picking their brains on even just gameplay. This is a very welcoming community. It's a great way to learn more about the game and about SAGU. So go ahead and make sure you follow SAGU Esports, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. You guys are everywhere. Now we got some broadcasts coming up next week. So Monday we've got Super Smash Brothers returning here, and Valorant on Tuesday, and of course more Rocket League on Wednesday. But any final thoughts?
Yeah, don't forget Friday. Friday we actually have our Modern Warfare 2 purple team competing, so we'll be able to get to see them. Last week I casted theirs on my own, on my kind of, it's not ghetto, but to this it's ghetto laptop. It should be a blast. I'm excited to see how well they're going to do. That team has been putting in good work.
Yeah.
Like you think of work, it's good work. They're putting in a lot, and I'm really excited to see how well they'll do this week and how they'll compete. So make sure you guys come out and check SAGU Esports Twitch for that. And then I think that's all I got to say.
Yeah. Well, hey, if you're into Call of Duty, Friday night, we're going to see if the SAGU Purple team, if that practice is going to pay off. But that's going to do it for us here, SAGU Sports Network, SAGU Esports here, Rocket League. We'll be back next week.